I'm Krystal Kelly, I'm an Equestrian Adventuress, and this is Women Beyond Borders Euronews Travel. I travel the world on horseback. I'm addicted to horses and travel, so I've just managed to marry the two loves of mine together. I've worked in more than 20 countries now with horses, and I've traveled to over 60 or more countries. I grew up in a small town in California, and I always felt kind of stuck there. I always actually wanted to travel, and I always wanted to ride horses, but in California it's very expensive to ride horses. I was definitely like the weird horse girl in school. No one really understood or loved horses as much as I did, but I read every horse book, I watched every horse movie, like I was absolutely obsessed. And I knew that the only way I could ride horses as much as I wanted to was to work with horses. A lot of my own family members would tell me like, no, you have to get a real job. And it was just always in my brain like, no, I'm working with horses. I'm gonna work overseas with horses. I've traveled a lot because of horses. I worked in Egypt and India. I also started the first and only horse riding program in the country of Bhutan. I rode horses in Greenland. I did the Mongolia Derby. If you love horses, you have to ride in Mongolia once in your lifetime, definitely. The thing about the Derby is it's an intense race. So I did over 1,000 kilometers in 10 days, and you're just from sunup until sundown, you're just going. The only way to finish, of course you have to be a good rider. You have to, in the beginning, have that mental stamina. You have to have that, I'm gonna make it to the finish no matter what. So for me it was non-negotiable. But the year that I did it, I think 48 riders started and only 22 finished. Horses, they bring you a sense of freedom. It's not the same like when you're hiking. You actually see the land much differently when you're traveling on horseback. I love that feeling of going into the horizon and just following that and just going forever in that direction. You know, that's a very good feeling. I like to travel to really unique places. I'm not a city girl at all, but I'm also not like I'm some hardcore girl. I don't like camping. I would rather sleep in a bed. But I love to go places that people have never heard of. That's where I feel in my element, is when they don't speak English and I'm sign languaging and miming everything. So I definitely love the chaos of the adventures. The one thing about travel and when you're in funny countries or unique countries, the biggest advice I can give is for women, just recruit the other women. They know how the men are, like they live with them. So when you recruit the other women and you run to the auntie in the chai shop, she will become Mama Bear and she will shout at the men for you even though you don't speak the language. I think you have to believe in yourself first and foremost, because you're gonna get a lot of people, especially loved ones and family members. You know, they don't do it intentionally, but they release their fears on you. I've been to Iraq and I went to Yemen and I worked in Egypt during the revolution. And there were so many times, you know, where I was about to board the plane and I'd have friends and family members message me, don't go, you're gonna get raped and murdered. So, you know, you have to just not listen to other people's fears. You have to focus and just do it. Obviously travel smart and research or, you know, do things to be safe, but you have to just book the ticket, you have to just go and don't let anyone else stop you. I would say to the people who, whether it's money or relationships or whatever their reason is to not travel or not go and do something incredible, every reason is just an excuse not to go. If money is your reason, you can travel super cheap. I couch surfed with my horses, and I did that in 3 countries, every single night for 2 months. So budget is not an excuse. If you're worried about safety, you can travel with a friend, or you can reach out to someone that's going the same place, or you can learn how to stay safe, what areas to go to. Most of us are stopping ourselves from doing it because we don't know what's on the other side of the fence, and that's scary. Don't let these walls and the unknowns keep you from going, because actually if you do go and you do visit, things which you couldn't even imagine were possible suddenly become possible. Travel is necessary. I think everyone has to travel, definitely. And I don't mean like a tour to the Eiffel Tower or something. Like, that's not gonna change your life. If more people traveled, there would never be any wars, because you understand each other's religions and cultures, So there's just so many opportunities and things that come when you're willing to open your mind and open yourself and step outside of your comfort zone. All of the opportunities that I've had, it never would have happened if I had just stayed in that small town in California.